WWE Hall of Famer Sika Anoa'i passes away. Plus, a WWE star has been announced for an indie show. And could an AEW talent be pulled from Forbidden Door? It's all in the Cultaholic wrestling news right now. The news broke yesterday that WWE Hall of Famer and father of Roman Reigns, Sika Anoa'i, has passed away at the age of 79. Now, we here at Cultaholic are going to take some time to reflect on an incredible career of a truly unique character.
Yes, Sika Anoa'i was born April 5th, 1945 in the village of Leon, apologies for the pronunciation there, on the island of Tutula in American Samoa. He had his brother Afa, of course, as both his trainer and his tag team partner, and the Wild Samoans shocked wrestling fans at Stampede Wrestling, the National Wrestling Alliance, the World Wrestling Council, and beyond with their savage and ferocious style. They would do very gimmicked stuff, eating raw fish in the ring to walking barefoot on nails, stuff that perhaps hasn't aged that sensitively today, but certainly helped them get over back in the day. And they fully lived up to that sort of gimmick as well.
They really did. And the stories from behind the curtain are just as wild. There was one particular incident where their car broke down whilst they were wrestling in Canada. And in order to get to the arena, they literally pushed their car through the cold Canadian evening in order to make it there. Incredible characters were the Wild Samoans. They had 3 runs in the WWF, placed near the top as tag team champions. We even saw Sika challenging for the world title on numerous occasions as well. Some of their most memorable moments as a tag team included a rivalry with Tony Atlas and Rocky Soulman Johnson. They played into that gimmick of Wild Samoans, as Jack said, something not something to be sensitive now, certainly, by eating raw fish, pulling the heads off chickens, wrestling barefoot, speaking in tongue, or some cases not speaking at all. And between these runs, they even managed to squeeze in a few dominating runs of the indie circuit and a tour of New Japan as well.
When Afa entered semi-retirement, we saw a short solo run from Sika as well, managed by the Wizard, and a bit of an odd couple tag team formation with Kamala under the management of Mr. Fuji. Sika retired in the late 80s and joined his brother in helping train wrestlers at the Wild Samoan Training Center, and it would create stars like Yokozuna, Chris Kanyon, Billy Kidman, Bam Bam Bigelow, Gene Snitsky, and even Batista, among others. And then Sika, along with his brother, entered the WWE Hall of Fame, deservedly so, in 2007.
He was a father of 5, was Sika, 2 of which, of course, found great success in the wrestling world. The late Matthew Anoa'i, who competed in WWE as part of 3 Minute Warning, and a tag team with the Hurricane, known as Rosie, of course, and Joe Anoa'i, better known as Roman Reigns. One of Sika's final wrestling appearances was alongside his brother Afa and his son Roman Reigns at Hell in a Cell 2020, where they adorned Roman Reigns with the Ulafala and made him the tribal chief. It was a really lovely moment to see, even though it was during that Thunderdome period. It was a really wonderful thing to see that go down, and a father and son moment. And the news of his passing was broken by his nephew Jarus Anoa'i, and he paid tribute, didn't he?
Yeah, Jarus said Sika was a celebrated figure whose contributions and legacy have left an indelible mark. His memory will live on through his achievements and the many lives he touched. He was many things: a hard-working father, a caring brother, a supportive uncle, and a proud grandfather. He was a cherished friend to many, a loving family member whose warmth and kindness knew no bounds, and an inspiration to countless individuals. His legacy will continue to inspire and uplift future generations, reminding us the impact one person's life can have on so many.
Roman Reigns shared some words about his dad on social media as well, saying, "My family and I thank everyone for the outpouring of support in the name of my father, who will forever be remembered as one half of the Wild Samoans. My father had a profound impact on my entire family. We are forever grateful for the foundation he built for us. There's no way to fill the void left by his passing, but my sisters and I will do our best to represent him and his legacy. Rest in power, Dad. We love you."
I think that one kind of bit of timing here that might be kind of fortuitous is that this has occurred while Roman's been already away, because it would be incredible. We know that you remember like how mentally exhausted he looked after finally dropping the belt to Cody Rhodes, and the footage of him walking away after WrestleMania. He very much deserved that break, which he's still on now. Everyone's clamoring for his return. But if there's one, not positive, but one maybe bit of fortune, it's that this has happened during his break. So he's got proper time to kind of process this, and rather than be on the road all the time while he's trying to process that break.
Yeah, exactly. Sika was obviously a massive fan of what his son was doing. There's a great video that did the rounds overnight of the night that Roman beat Triple H at WrestleMania for the title. And in a crowd that was a little bit hostile towards Roman Reigns, there was Sika whipping his top off and swinging it around and cheering for his son.
Fantastic.
It was brilliant. There's one story that is shared, I believe, in Hulk Hogan's book about Sika, which it shows the extent in which the Wild Samoans kept kayfabe at that point. It was during Hogan's run in the mid-80s when they were stopped by the police one night while they were driving. And because at that point the Wild Samoans were mute, they only spoke in grunts. When the police pulled them up, Hogan did all the talking, brother. And that continued even when they opened Hulk Hogan's glove box and found a gun in there. And when Hogan pleaded with Alpha and Sika to kind of help him out and corroborate his story on why that was there, they just refused to speak. They all went to prison that night. And it was phone calls from Gorilla Monsoon that eventually got them out of there. But there'll be many stories about Alpha and Sika shared online, no doubt, today. And we send our condolences to the friends and family of Sika Anoa'i, who left us yesterday at the age of 79. A few other bits of news to let you know about before we leave you for this one. A weird back and forth last night between Taz and Jordynne Grace.
It was a strange one, and it seemed to be miscommunication more than anything, hopefully. But Jordynne Grace shared a photo on Twitter with the caption, "Beat me if you can, survive if I let you," which was, of course, Taz's catchphrase in ECW in the 90s. Taz, even though I thought I saw this as kind of obviously a tribute to Taz, it was quite clear, but Taz didn't see it quite that way. He quote retweeted it with the comment, "Swing and a miss," which is clearly upset that she was using his catchphrase, I suppose.
Grace later commented on Twitter saying, "Not being able to quote legends that I emulated for years wasn't in my pro wrestling handbook, but duly noted." Now, he posted a 3-minute video where he kind of explained what went down there, did Taz. And I think he was just caught a bit off guard, wasn't he?
Yeah, he said that he misunderstood Grace's intention for using the phrase, believing that she was stealing it outright as opposed to paying tribute to him. He said, "I've been burned before. I've had people make money off me, and I try to protect all of my trademarks. Some fans think it's petty to say something, but it's not. It's just being protective of stuff you've built. I'm a fan of her work, and maybe it's just me jumping the gun. I'm looking forward to one day crossing paths with Jordynne. I'm sure we'll giggle about it and laugh." And hopefully so, because I think I can kind of see both sides of the argument. I can see why Taz might be a little bit paranoid in this sort of situation, especially growing up at the time he did in the wrestling business, where the internet was less ubiquitous. People could probably steal things from each other and not get caught in wrestling. But on the other hand, I think most people would look at what Jordynne Grace posted and identify that's Taz's catchphrase. She's clearly paying tribute to Taz.
But so, I see his frustration, though. I was saying to Sam Driver that day, I patented my unique move, the Taz mission, that I hate when people steal my stuff.
Yeah.
Really frustrating. I'm glad it's all sorted, though. Jordynne Grace would then put out another picture with the caption, "I'm sorry, I love you." To which Shawn Michaels quote retweeted, "I love you too." So
Get out of here, Shawn.
Shawn, stop
this isn't
cooking.
About you, Shawn.
Get out of the kitchen, Shawn.
Dear me.
Heading over to the World of Independence, where that prohibited portal is once again rearing its ugly head, following a very successful run in the WrestleMania week at Josh Barnett's Bloodsport. Shayna Baszler's back at it again. She's been announced for the July 28th Bloodsport event in Brooklyn, New York. She defeated Masha Slamovich in her debut for Bloodsport around WrestleMania weekend. Her next opponent yet to be announced. She's such a good fit for that.
This could be, anyway, the continuation of quite a nice little story that I thought was just kind of a one-shot at that WrestleMania weekend Bloodsport, because Shayna Baszler walked into that match with Masha Slamovich, and not as intense, but there were shades of Cena RVD. You had this, like, hero of the indie scene in Masha Slamovich, and everyone's like, "Come on, are you doing, Masha?" Shayna comes out, and the heat was fantastic. She milked it. She did really, really well, and then she ended up winning that match. And it was because it was Bloodsport rules. It was a stoppage rather than a pinfall. And as soon as the referee stopped it, it was that wonderful shot of the crowd all jumping to their feet, not in celebration, but in outrage going, no! And this camera zooms out of it and she's just stood there like that. And I thought, brilliant. So I'm delighted that she's back in Bloodsport. And if she wins again and beats another babyface or another fan favorite, then maybe we've got a bit of a long-running story going on.
Maybe we have. Speaking of people going through prohibited portals or going through forbidden doors, we might not be seeing JR walk through the forbidden door this weekend.
No, this is another bit of unfortunate news, actually, especially with, as Tom says there, the pay-per-view on this Sunday night. But last night on Twitter, JR posted another trip to the emergency room, difficulty breathing, likely an overnight stay. I'll be okay, let's fight. This is his second similar trip to the emergency room in the last few months. That, along with multiple surgeries and, of course, skin cancer treatments, have made this year a very challenging one for JR. He was slated to be part of Forbidden Door this Sunday, but now his status is unknown, and I think everybody would understand if he wasn't able to make that event.
Absolutely. We send nothing but best wishes to good old JR for a full and speedy recovery on that one. Forbidden Door takes place this Sunday. 9 pitches coming up on the channel later today for Forbidden Door, plus you will have predictions for Forbidden Door with myself and Ross, and you can watch it live with us through the night on Sunday at youtube.com/cultaholic/live, and Jack will be here with what happened at mere moments after the show concludes.
Moments indeed.
Moments. And it's a Wednesday, so are you twitching tonight?
I am twitching tonight, myself and Owen, 6 p.m. UK time at twitch.tv/Cultaholic.
And for the latest wrestling news throughout the day, you can check out cultaholic.com. Beat me if you can, survive if I let you.